Has more details of Zack Snyder's Justice League been revealed in that ancient text? Recent translations seem to indicate so. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have another translation video for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But first, I wanted to remind everybody, make sure you get in on this month's giveaway. We're giving away Volume 1 Omnibus of Teen Titans. In order to get in on the giveaway, all you have to do is be a subscriber, hit like, and leave a comment. Now, if you remember back a few months ago, we got that little teaser for Zack Snyder's Justice League, and in one scene we actually saw Wonder Woman on the inside of an ancient tomb. Shortly after that, we got a really amazing translation from Unity514 over on Twitter, which basically translated all the text for fans to read. Now, that first video was a lot of fun, and I've included a link to it down below. But today, he dropped a whole nother set of translations. And more interestingly, this seems to address some of the Martian conspiracy associated with the art in the tomb. So let's take a couple minutes to break down the new post and talk about what the translations actually are. Now, before we dive into the material, he actually did a shout out to S.M. Colbert for supplying him with some high-res pictures. Stephen M. Colbert is an editor over at Screen Rant, so shout out to him for supplying the information needed for Unity to do the translation. Now, he does open with a disclaimer, and this kind of applies to the last video too. These shrine pictures were leaked a really long time ago, and this was long before Zack Snyder got the okay from HBO Max. That means some of this material could be changed in production, which is actually going on right now, so keep that in mind as we move forward. What this breaks down is the rumor a couple of months ago that was floating around regarding some of the UFO paintings on the walls of the shrine. Many people were suggesting these could be Martians, aka Martian Manhunter. But are they really? Or are they part of Darkseid's Apocalyptic Armada? Well, it appears Unity has given us an answer. So let's break down the first translation. On this wall, you can actually see 3 sections, with each section depicting an event. And next to each event is some text explaining what you are seeing. He actually took the time to mark the pictures for each section, so let's break them down one by one. The first part shows an army of Amazons marching into battle, and next to the image you see some Greek text that translates to Amazons battling or going into battle or playing in battle. I'm going to go with going into battle, but that seems pretty straightforward. Now the second one shows a mixed army consisting of 3 different groups of people. We actually see Amazonians, Atlanteans, and humans. And it translates to the 3 metal generations, and the next word could be tribes, races, clans, or people of the earth. Which kind of makes sense given the context for the background that we know. Now, he does point out something about this second part though. And what he says was metal, meaning that these armies consist of metal armed soldiers, metal armor, and metal weapons. However, he does point to a spelling mistake, or the word metalla is separated in 2, and it can actually mean the 3 of the earth with the other races, which would imply there is perhaps other races fighting with them. First thing that comes to mind based on what we've seen are Greek gods, but let's not forget we've also seen some Green Lanterns, or potentially visitors from Mars. And if you go and check out the full post, he does explain why he believes metal is correct and it doesn't mean other. The third part is what we've all been waiting for, the Martians and the potential UFOs. Now in that third picture we see what appear to be some UFOs with some more text. Now these UFOs have an X symbol on them, which actually led many fans to believe they are Martian. But when we check out the text that's going on around those ships, it says the apocalyptic multitude flying down through the ether. A word-for-word translation not taking into consideration different structure of English sentences would be by through the ether flying down the apocalyptic multitude. And that's really our answer. These circles with the red X's depicted on the side of the shrine are not Martian. They are actually Darkseid's apocalyptic fleet. He actually does point to some more proof. There are several people that have pointed to these and said they were boom tubes. But as he points out in the translation, the UFOs are depicted as small black circles with a red outer ring and a red X. You can see the Amazons firing arrows at these ships in one of the pictures. There's also another section that seems to depict parademons coming right out of a boom tube, which looks completely different than the UFOs. Now there was some other bits of ancient writing that are pretty interesting that he translated. They're highlighted here in red, and we'll break them down one by one. In the first strip, it basically says, among the three of the earth are eternal men as dream being, or beings. He wasn't really sure about that. So basically what this says is among the three of the earth are eternal ones. Now this could be Amazons or Atlanteans, which are known to basically be immortal, but it's likely it's also referring to something else. And since we know Zeus and the rest of the Greek gods were involved in the battle, I think it's actually referring to them, but that's not confirmed. The second part basically says, together as defenders, among them is the sacrifice of the great Amazons and humans fighting against the conspiracy of the opposing, invading, star-dwelling settlers. Now, at this point, I would refer you back to the first video, which actually broke down a lot of the interaction between Darkseid, Zeus, and Ares. And most of these translations seem to confirm that. Now, luckily, he got these higher res pictures where he could actually see the text and made the translation possible. As a fan, I gotta say, I really like this. It gives it a special, almost ancient-like flavor, not something typically found in superhero movies. You may be disappointed this wasn't about Martian Manhunter, and seeing how Zack Snyder just revealed Martian Manhunter for the upcoming film, I suppose anything is possible. Like we said, these scenes were shot long before Snyder took back over for the Snyder Cut, and although they may have been shot by him, the story probably has evolved over time. We'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think? Do you like this translation of the Martian text? And do you believe other Martians from Mars will make some kind of appearance in Justice League? Outside of John Jones? I'm not so sure. Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.